satisfied, and I'm bummed, and it's just really unfortunate. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. It's Lydia, and y'all, I can't even front with you. I am so bummed. Call me dramatic. This, honestly, I feel like I should say this, you know, my hair isn't a complete disaster, but to me it's like a disaster because I'm just so disappointed that it didn't turn out the way I want it to. And I'm sure a lot of you guys with curly hair, just with hair in general, when you go in for a haircut and it doesn't turn out the way you want it, you're gonna be upset. If you pay for any type of service and you don't get what you want, it's disappointing and it feels like a disaster no matter how you spin it. But regardless, I'm just gonna take you guys through my experience at the Devachan Salon. Basically, I had set my appointment at the end of March. I didn't say anything to you all just because I wasn't sure if I was actually gonna go. I was thinking I might cancel at the last minute, but I decided to still keep the appointment. And the salon was really beautiful. It looks just like how it looks on a lot of other influencers videos, if you guys have seen it. I went to the one specifically in Soho. I'm not gonna go into details about who my stylist was because I don't want the video to be about dragging the stylist. I just want to talk about my experience and what I learned from this whole experience. I went in, they gave me like a nice little robe to put in. They definitely treat you really nicely and they're super friendly. All of the staff, all of the employees, everything, it's a very welcoming environment when you get in. Now, when I sat down and I told them, I was like, hey, is it okay if I film some bits and pieces of the haircut? And she had told me, she was like, yeah, that's fine, but you can only film just a little bit at a time. You can't really film the whole thing just because they're super, you know, the company's super selective in terms of how much they're willing to show because they do classes and things like that. I'm just telling you guys what they told me. Mind you, I didn't really tell her much about my channel or anything like that. I was just trying to go in as a regular schmegular customer. So afterwards, I sit down and I kind of explained to her what I wanted. She looks at my hair, and before I had gone in, they tell you to go in with clean hair, no gel, and a light leave-in. So I went in with the Devacut B leave-in and a little bit of their styling cream in my hair, and I just let it air dry. So I had no gel in my hair, and she kind of just started to take a look at my hair, asked me, you know, what I used to style it. One thing that I will say was pretty funny about the entire experience was that they really tried to treat me, and I guess it's just they assume everyone who comes in doesn't know anything about curly hair, or at least that's how I felt. They really tried to, at least my stylist really tried to tell me, she was like, well, make sure you're not using anything with sulfates or silicones, when I listed a bunch of brands that were silicone free, sulfate free. You guys know that I try to be super good with the products that I use, or especially as of lately, as my hair has started to, you know, recover from, you know, going through trying a bunch of products over and over again. But regardless, I basically told her what I use. I told her, you know, I use Innersense, I use Uncle Funky's Daughter, their gel, and she hadn't heard of any of those brands. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I told her, I was like, and I also use, you know, the Devacut B leave-in and the ultra defining gel in my hair. I use that a lot, and you guys have seen my wash and go both with the Devacut products and the Innersense and Uncle Funky's Daughter products. So for me, when I went in there and I was telling her about what I used, it was kind of like pointless, because why ask if you don't even know any of the brands that I'm using? I feel like as a hairstylist, you should be pretty knowledgeable about the different products that exist out there in the market, especially because I feel like the brands that I mentioned aren't like too much of like low-key brands. At least Innersense, like that is the salon grade line, especially within the curly hair community. Like typically I've only seen their products ever sold at salons. It's not like they're sold in drugstores, Targets, Ultas, things like that, but I digress. So as I sat down, she started looking at my hair. I showed her what I wanted. I gave her a list of pictures. I told her I just wanted long layers, kind of just to give my hair a little bit of a lift. I haven't gotten my hair cut in over 3 years. I've been trimming and maintaining my hair on my own for the past 3 years, but an actual Devacut, it's been about 3 years since I've gotten it. And the reason why, as many of you guys can relate, I have trust issues. The only person I have ever trusted with my curls besides myself is Corey Marino. He is a hairstylist and he is amazing. I have a video from my last Devacut video with him, and he's just the best, and I wish I could have gotten my hair cut by him, but he has been doing a lot of personal private celebrity gigs now, so his availability when it comes to doing salon stuff is pretty limited, if not non-existent. So I originally had an appointment set with him in November, but it got canceled because he had another gig, and then I had another one set up in the beginning of March, but that got canceled because of another gig. So I was like, I really need to get my hair trimmed. I really want to get my hair trimmed and shaped because it's just starting to look really flat and look really dull. So when I showed her all the pictures, a lot of it wasn't really to take off much length. I really wanted to keep my length, and I made sure that she knew that. And as you guys can see, I will say I'm happy about that. Like, I didn't lose any of my length. My length is still there. So I was happy about that, and I just told her I just wanted long layers, and I just wanted to just give it a little bit of like a lift in the back. So it was cool, it was good. She was really nice the whole time when she was cutting my hair. Like, she showed me how much she was cutting off before she cut everything, so I knew how much she was cutting each time. What the problem came down to was once it was all cut, it looked great from far away, and hindsight is 2020. I wish I took a better look up close and really took the time to inspect my hair. And if I were to give you guys any piece of advice when you get a Devacut, really don't be afraid to take this, especially if you're going to someone new and it's not someone you're really used to. Like with Corey, I could trust him, I could do whatever, and I kind of went into it with that same vibe with this stylist, but I really didn't take the time to like measure my curls and really make sure it was even on both sides. Like from far away it looked cool, it looked fine, it looked even, it looked full, the layers didn't look too bad, everything was perfect. But I feel like if I had taken the time to really look up close and make sure everything was balanced, I may have, you know, noticed it ahead of time, but that's besides the point. So basically, after she cut my hair, I went around to the back, and their assistant kind of just started to wash my hair. They used the Decadence line to wash my hair, and then to style my hair, they just went in sections. They told me, make sure your hair is soaking wet when you apply the products to your hair. I'm like, Lord, if you only knew I mentioned this so many times on my channel, you would feel like a joke telling me this, just because I tell you guys countless of times when I do my hair, make sure it's soaking wet, otherwise your products will not turn out the way you want it to. But I mean, I can't blame them for not knowing. They just, like I said, assumed that I didn't know anything about taking care of my hair, so whatever. So basically, they styled my hair using the styling cream, the Be Leave-In. She would mix them both in her hands at the same time and then top it off with the Archangel gel. I personally wouldn't have gone in with the Archangel gel all over my hair just because it's really drying if I use it all over. You guys know me, I personally like to go in with the ultra defining gel and then top it off with the Archangel gel for some of my frizzier parts, but it's whatever. So basically, she styled my hair. I came out, they had me flip my hair over. They took a towel to kind of soak up the excess product, which is pretty standard from any other place. Corey would do the same thing when I would visit him. And then afterwards, they sat me underneath the dryer, and I was there for about 5 minutes or so. And then all of a sudden, my hairstylist, not the assistant, comes up and she starts looking at my hair, and she was like, let me spray it with some water. Some of the parts are looking really frizzy. So then I was like, oh Lord, they're gonna try touching my hair when it's already starting to dry. And y'all know me, I always say leave your hair alone and then touch it up once it's dry to see what it really looks like. So she went in with more water at the top and just started raking through all of my hair and trying to touch up the frizzier parts. I was like, yikes, I don't know how this is gonna look, I don't know how this is gonna turn out. So yeah, she did that. She tried to touch up some parts with some more of the gel, and then she went in with their high shine spray, which I love that shine spray, by the way. I love it. I've been using it pretty often. It's great shine spray, in case some of you guys were wondering. But after that, I sat in the dryer for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. They started at the top and then they took it off, and then they started just concentrating the air towards my ends. So by then, I feel like, especially the way the overhead dryer was, it really helped elongate my hair because it was kind of pushing everything down. But as you guys know, Devacurt products are super lightweight, so my curls weren't weighed down at all. They were still really full, really light, but because they went in with the Archangel gel all over, my curls did feel a little bit more dry and not as moisturized. And I think that's just because I love the Archangel gel. It's definitely one of my favorite gels. I just don't use it all over my hair. I use it to touch up frizzy parts, but that's not the point. So I finished, I looked at my hair. I was actually really pleased because I think my biggest fear out of this whole experience was that all my hair was going to be gone. I felt like my hair was going to be up to my ears, and while short hair is fine, I really just wanted to keep my length. I feel like I've been growing it out and my ends weren't completely dead and unhealthy, so there was no reason for me to get super short hair if I didn't want that. So when I looked at it, my curls, you know, they were nice and long. They didn't look bad. I felt like because it was a little bit fuller, I didn't really notice how choppy and how uneven it was until I got home and I styled my hair on my own with my own products and did my own normal routine. And now I'm gonna show you guys what my curls look like. So basically, I mean, it's been in this satin scarf, so you can't really see it, but basically this is what, day 2 or day 3 hair, and it was just in the satin scarf. This side, perfect, love it, it's fine. It relatively looks the same. If you guys can kind of tell from this angle, there's a little bit more of like a slope. It's pretty even. One of the curls is a little bit longer just because it's been stretched out because it was in the ponytail. But regardless, if you guys can see right here, nice even slope, no choppiness, no awkwardness. Now let's turn to this side where the problem is. As you guys can see, pretty even slope until you start turning around. Short section here, where is that? Makes no sense. And as I start to, you know, really fluff it out and move it around, this side still looks pretty even. This side, and you guys can see it in the thumbnail, it really goes from this big chunk of short hair right in the front to long. There's no even blend. If I turn it at this angle right here, you guys can see random long piece of hair, short, short. It's just very choppy, and it's not what I wanted. Like, I don't know anyone who wants choppy hair that doesn't blend. Like, that's just not, it's not my cup of tea. So basically that was my experience. That's why I'm so bummed and disappointed. So yeah, now I'm basically stuck with this choppiness. I'm probably gonna have to figure out ways to blend it and hide it. Middle part Lydia may need to take a break, even though I love middle part Lydia, and I may need to go to side part Lydia, but unless I can find a way to kind of hide it and like tuck in the choppy layers. But regardless, I feel like luckily the only thing, the two positives out of this whole situation: one, she didn't cut my hair too short. 2, the front of my hair grows faster than any other part of my hair, so I'm hoping that it'll grow out and I can maybe get it evened out by Corey if he ends up miraculously getting some availability within the next, you know, couple months or by the end of the year. But yeah, I feel like if there were any takeaways I want you guys to take from this story: 1, really take the time once your hair is cut, and even stop while they're cutting your hair. If I were to go back, I would stop after she does each section to really make sure it's all looking even, it's all looking good. I mean, at the end of the day, you're the client, you're the one paying for the service. Like, a Devacut is not cheap. It's $150 for a Devacut on top of a tip that you have to pay for the hairstylist, and then you have to pay a tip for the assistant who actually washed and did your hair. So it adds up. But regardless, I feel like really make sure that you're being meticulous and be picky and really be insistent on making sure everything is even. I wish I did that, especially because this was the first time she was doing my hair. And 2, I feel like, you know, if you have someone you really like and you really trust, just be patient and wait for them. I feel if I could go back, I would have just gone with my gut back in March, and or at the end of March or beginning of April, and just, you know, decided to cancel this appointment if I look back on it. Luckily, I mean, it is what it is, and I still got a cut and my hair doesn't look horrendous. Like, I feel like my curls could have turned out way worse, and I've seen way worse videos when it comes to the whole Devacut experience. But I feel like, I mean, I'm just not satisfied, and I'm bummed, and it's just really unfortunate. But at this rate, there's nothing I can do. All I can do is just keep doing what I've been doing and just hope that my hair will grow out and even out. Even at this angle, like, it doesn't even look that bad, and I feel like realistically, even though I'm just looking at my hair right now, it don't even look that different, which, I mean, it's kind of what I wanted. I didn't want it to look any different than what it did before. I just wanted it to be just a little bit more voluminous and not as like straight down as it was before. But thank you all for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, be sure to comment the word unfortunate down below, because that's just how I feel about it. It's just really unfortunate. So yes, comment the word unfortunate down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up because it will make me feel a lot better than I do right now. And be sure to subscribe as well. I will love you if you do. I won't hate you if you don't, but I would love you if you do. And be sure to share this with a friend as well. If you know someone who's about to get their hair cut at the Devachan Salon, or just about to get their hair cut period, and you feel like they haven't done their due diligence to do the research and whatnot, show them this video so they know to do their research and really make sure that they got all their ducks in an order before they get their hair cut, and hopefully they will not end up in the position that I am. But thanks again, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.